Okay, so I'm gonna start recording. I need to check one thing I
Go
want to
ahead.
make sure the door in the back is shut.
Go ahead.
There's I don't want any noise picked up from there. Hold on a second. Ugh. Okay. All right. So now we got everything locked up. Nobody, no dog scratching. He's a little on the nutty side, especially in this. It's 100 degrees today.
I know it's been exceptionally hot in most places, and we, on the other hand, are in the well, what everybody's being concerned about on the islands is is a predicted hurricane year, and so they're all prepared. They're preparing because it's
Hmm.
been predicted. But some major things that have not happened on the planet in our lifetime, because it hasn't changed for millennia, is happening right now. And we have a chakra system, Jim, and
Hmm.
because our body sits into the bigger self, the larger self, and how it connects, how we connect to our higher self, how we connect to all consciousness is through the chakra centers
Hmm.
in our body, from our crown down to the root. And the planet that we're on has a chakra system as well.
Hmm.
And the heart chakra of this planet has been for millennia in Glastonbury, England. I've been there. It's quite a magical place. The tour is really very special. So is the Chalice Well and the Abbey. And it is a very amazing place. Well, the heart chakra that was very attached to the, Christ and the beginning of Christianity, has moved. It is now under the island of Kauai.
Okay.
And so I just was talking to someone yesterday about, because one of the worst hurricanes hit this island in 1991. It was Aniki. And I said, with the heart chakra here, I'm not concerned. But what it does say is you need to lead more from what's real and not what's imaginary, what's significant. I told you I really wanted to talk about universal consciousness, collective consciousness, and individual consciousness, because we truly are all one. We are not separated individuals, but we do come in on individual paths to contribute to
Hmm.
the collective consciousness and the universal consciousness. So everything that's being played out right now, we were co-creators of at some time in some lifetime on the planet.
Hmm.
So everything that is coming to a head is coming to our ideas of separation, our ideas of judgment, better than chosen people, all these ideologies that separate cultures, religions, and
Hmm.
people
Hmm.
have been what has created war on the planet, has created lack on the planet, has created greed on the planet. So everything's being played out right now to come to a head because we had some major astrological events in the skies. And that is bringing about, since 2020, we've been going into the eye of the hurricane, quite frankly, for
Right.
6 years. We are now coming out of that and we are going to begin to rebuild in a whole new way. And what's really important for each person to know is every thought, every feeling, every action gets contributed to the individual, the collective, and the universal consciousness.
So is that the law, the first law of the universe? I think it's a law of, God, what's it called? I'm gonna check it out
Yeah,
right.
there are, if you go to the sixth plane of existence above us, the universal laws are there. All right. And a universal law is all thought, feeling, and actions go into consciousness.
It's called the law of universal oneness.
That's
Because what it
right.
sounds like what you're saying here is that basically everything's connected.
We are all connected. We are, if you look at one world outside from those astronauts, imagine that's not just one world, one planet you're looking at, that's one
Hmm.
people you're looking at, right? And as one people, we are not a specific culture, nor are we a specific religion,
Okay.
nor are we a specific anything. We're not even a specific man or a woman. What we are is humanity. All right. We
Hmm.
are the composite of humanity. And for each soul that is more evolved on this planet, they have to start taking full responsibility for their thoughts
Okay.
and their feelings and their actions.
Hmm.
All right. And if you don't know what to do to change it, go be of service somewhere. Go serve something. Because what happens with individuals, they get too caught in their individual self-awareness,
Hmm.
self-fulfillment, without realizing that part of that is the collective and the universal. So what are we giving to the collective consciousness and what are we giving to the universal consciousness?
Hmm.
And that comes from all of our is try to put the fears and worries aside, and when they come up, use it as an anchor to contribute something. Whether you visualize Iran and the United States holding hands, loving one another, whether you visualize Israel and the Gaza Strip and Hamas and the Houthis shaking hands and agreeing to love one another and share, whatever is in your mind's eye that you want to see, what that reality is that you want to see, well, imagine it. And that goes into more in your life. Instead of watching war movies
Hmm.
and shoot 'em up bang bangs and why not something that touches the heart? Why not something where someone's doing something significant?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And because they're on all streaming services. And you can choose to watch shows that fill you up. All right. Love stories, if nothing else, because love is the only reality, truly. Anything beyond love is just a direction back to love. All right. Love is the core of what God truly is.
Hmm.
God is the emanation of love. Absolutely. And to stand in the light of God, one
Hmm.
has to be completely filled with the idea of their own
So now,
self.
which God is this? Okay, because I have a hard time believing that this God you're
Only
talking to,
there's
well,
one.
is it the same God of the Old Testament?
It's the source of all
The
creation.
one that drowned all the people before the Great Flood?
Well, men wrote that. God didn't write that.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
So, yeah, thank you.
Men
That's,
wrote that.
you know,
And
I don't want to,
also, how many women are in the Old Testament and even the New?
I, well, there's
You
yeah,
have
I mean, there's
Mary,
definitely a imbalance
Mary,
there.
Margaret, Lot's wife, Anna, Rachel,
Hmm.
not many. All right. And Mary
Horace.
Magdalene is portrayed as a whore when she was the bride of Jesus and was the disciple who got his message over
Hmm.
all disciples. So in reality, you're looking at books that were written by men and they were written in times when we were barbaric and they felt a need to be that we needed to be controlled. Okay.
Hmm.
And so the church took that position on of controlling. Then came the government to take that position of control. All right. Right now, our own government in this country is taking a big position of control.
I
Okay.
think this country is on its way out. I just can't, I can't see this thing surviving.
It's on its way to change.
It's going to change. I think there's going to be
Not
a
reform.
mass. Yeah.
It's massive transformation.
I
You
think
know,
that with
don't you find it?
well, I'm just saying. I just want to say that I think that with the deaths of Lindsey Graham and what's that crazy guy named from Kentucky, the senator from Kentucky. I gotta look at. I forget his name. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, he's in one that's in the hospital since June 14th.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
yeah.
know what you're talking about. Yeah,
So,
he's the heart
but
in
I need
charge.
to find out because
He needs to
actually,
retire, but you know what? Forget all that, Jim.
Mitch McConnell. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to hold on a
Well,
second
that's the
because
end. It's the end of the old order. And take a look
well,
at Donald.
I'm looking at the deaths of Mitch McConnell. I think he's dead. I personally think he's gone. And then there's Lindsey Graham who died. I think that's a major cleansing because those are the two most powerful Republican senators, and now they're gone. But for some reason, Republicans are still they just integrated Israel and the U.S. armies together. I mean, when they did that, I think they just about nullified everything this nation has done in the past 250 years. Just
Actually,
nullified it.
well, Jim, what they've really done is they've destroyed the Republican Party. And what is now happening, and you're going to see it in the election this fall, is that the people voting are not Republicans. There's no embarrassment, not even voting. All right. So, but get beyond that. Get a bigger picture. Get a bigger picture than
Do
that.
you see World War III happening?
I see this planet going through some incredible, beautiful change. I refuse to put my energy into anything that takes away from people. I will only contribute to what builds for people
So in
because
other words, so
I
you're
don't,
focused.
because truly, I don't live there, Jim. I just don't. I
Okay.
don't, and because I choose not to live there, it's because I know that many events have had to take place, but I'm not going to blame Mitch McConnell or any of that party. I'm going to blame all of us. We are the contributors for the separation, for the judgment that has brought this about.
Mhm.
We are co-creators of everything that's going on this planet right now.
Okay.
So if we can accept the responsibility that we co-created this reality, then the next step is, okay, what in your life did you judge? What in your life did you look down upon? What in your life did you constantly, I mean, being right is not nearly as important as being a contributor to the good.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch better. So it's kind of like each individual will live out their karma, Jim. They will have to, it's cause and effect. Every act has a boomerang effect to it. So there's no one gets by with anything. There's no random acts in the universe. Anyone who contributes towards chaos will experience that chaos. All right. All right. I love to watch them when they go to the other side and they think they're really powerful and they find out how really one of many they are
Hmm.
and how they aren't any more powerful than anything else. And I watch them come into that reality and they're in shock. And it takes them a while to even be able to acclimate to that. All right. It's very difficult. Lindsey Graham's having one very difficult time
Good.
having control over what's happening. All right. Because he's no control over it. But he's also, John McCain knew him as a whole different person before he met Donald
Donald
Trump.
Trump. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the Trump
And that
effect.
is who I see standing next to Lindsey. Okay. That's who I see. John McCain is right there with Lindsey Graham giving him some reality checks. All right. So there's no random acts in the universe. I don't know how else to word that. Everything has a purpose, but many times will be a chosen soul to come in to enact change. And this is where we had to really fall out of judgment of various people because they all are playing a part individually, collectively, and universally. And we are not in charge of what that is. All right. So, source of all that is, call it universal intelligence.
Hmm.
First of all, it's not a being. Let's get past that. All right. Get away from the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament. God is not a being, God is a source. All right.
Hmm.
Power source that can create all life. Got that? Imagine a source of something so vast, all right, that you can't even possibly imagine what it is. And that's why people cannot really put a good term on God. They try to, but everything that you've seen written in anywhere has been a man's interpretation of an event that occurred. Okay. And that's all that is. So to become aware is to move beyond the judgment of the events going on, but to say, what can I do in my community that can contribute to resolution of what's happening in my community?
Hmm.
And I think it's critically important. All right. I mean, I got word very wee hours this morning that ice is coming to the island. So I already know all the word's been put out.
ISIS? Oh,
Yeah,
ice. Okay.
ice. So all the word was put out very early this morning. They will not find anybody because the island's very, very good at being able to protect. And that's what it does.
Mm-hmm.
Very protective. It's very frustrating for ice because no one really wants to help them. So,
Well, I hope they don't get in. Restaurant owners will kick them out if they go in, those places. But
well, they close their doors when they
yeah,
go to the island. They just lock up.
yeah, as they should. And it's funny because they're trying to. Are they going to try to throw out or capture the native Aborigines from the Hawaii?
Oh,
There's a
the very
lot of them from original blood.
well, what's very difficult here is a lot of our nationalities here are darker skinned,
Yeah.
as immigrants are. And
Hmm.
so it's very difficult. So what they do is they head for restaurants, particularly Mexican restaurants. All right. That's where they head. They know, they all know where they're going. So, but it's you know, all of this it's just I always go back to Nelson Mandela sat in a cell for 27 years. And he came out and told us, you have no idea how powerful each of you are.
Hmm.
No one can jail your soul. Your soul is so much faster than anything anyone can do to it. And you have the power to do so much more than you even know. And that is so incredibly true. Every single being is so embodied with God. The source of what makes your heart work every day is God.
Hmm.
What makes everything in your body functions God. What makes everything grow is God. There's nothing really outside of you. It's all God, every bit of it. All right. And the minute we can acknowledge that and really get that there is nothing outside of ourselves, you start to smile at the world. You start to want to embody it. I have a tendency to give compliments wherever I go. I have a friend that bothers when she's with me. She goes, "Do you have to always talk to people and tell them what you like about them?" And I said, "Yeah, I do, because it's my nature. It's who I am. It's what I love doing." I think that if I can help a person in each day feel good about themselves and that
Hmm.
somebody else has acknowledged something about them and that makes them feel good, then I feel good. It's
Hmm.
because I'm a continuation of them. And not only them, but nature. I mean, sometimes I just like to follow around lizards and insects. And, the beautiful thing for me is I have so much time. And with time, I can really reflect. And with time, I can really be still with simplicity. And I would really encourage people to take times out of their life because we all can have very busy lives and that can take us moving in so many directions at once. But when we can sit back and observe the world,
Hmm.
begin to realize there's a lot of beauty in this world. There's incredible wonder. If you were fed with the news every night of every wonderful thing that happened that day, you would
Hmm.
go to bed with a smile on your face. If you had a community, I can tell you why the heart of the
Hmm.
planet is in Kauai. I can tell you exactly why. Because Kauai is Lemuria, and
Hawaii
Lemuria,
is what?
Kauai is the resurgence
Uh-huh.
landmass we once knew as Lemuria. It was called Mu
Okay.
for short.
Right.
We had two ancient cultures on this planet
Uh-huh.
long that connected all the continents. All right, Lemuria on the west coast and
Uh-huh.
Atlantis on the east coast.
Got it.
Okay, Lemuria was before the Atlanteans. Lemuria were the philosophers. This was communities of people who lived in absolute harmony with one another. They were the
Hmm.
philosophers. All right. They were the dreamers. They didn't separate the sexes or even children. They would watch a child and let the child decide what he was going to be when they grew up, rather than telling him what he should be. They observed and they were in harmony. I used to go in deep meditation. I would go into Lemuria, and I noticed that they would have baskets on their counters with seeds and berries, natural things that grew.
Mhm.
They ate natural foods, and they used crystal powered energy. So airplanes were motivated by crystals, but they weren't really airplanes, but they were vehicles that were transported with crystal energy. So crystal energy was used, and dreaming was used. For instance, if you wanted to be a dream maker, there were dream makers that would help people get something in their life that they truly desired. And if you wanted to be a dream maker, you had to find out how to dream yourself to the top of the cliffs where they lived, because there
Mhm.
was no path there. The only way there was to dream yourself there. So it was a very interesting culture. Well, this island is one of those places that it's not like being on a landmass. It's like being on a being. It's very alive. It's
Okay.
it resonates, and I know when I would have people visit me in California, they leave. It was great. I could say goodbye, and that was fine. When someone visits me here and they leave, a piece of me goes with them, and it takes me 24 hours before I can fill back up again.
So do you think some people live in the wrong places that doesn't match their spirituality?
Oh, always, of
Oh
course.
yeah. Hmm.
Oh, yeah. And you kind of know when you go places that aren't beckoning you there. I mean, every time I went to Salt Lake City, Utah, I either got a parking ticket, something happened. So I did my astrocartography, and it showed that I had Saturn and Uranus running right through Utah. And so that's not good placement. I have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, running through the Hawaiian Islands.
Hmm.
I have Neptune running through California, which is where I did so much of my intuitive work.
Hmm.
So, yes, we can live in places that are you're drawn to places for reasons. For reasons, like for instance, you were this beautiful East Indian man who's so talented, but you weren't supposed to be in India. You
No,
see, that was not your homeland at
no,
all.
no.
You're you're really so many, you've been to so many other nationalities because you're an ancient being, Jim.
Mhm.
And so you're being drawn to the part of the world. California, I love California. It's more of a state of mind than it's a state. Because anything happening in the world is going to happen in California first. All right.
That's
It
true.
it's the technologically most advanced creative center of the world. All right. And so things are going to shift and change there before it happens anywhere. And this is why so many people coming from the deep south or some of the eastern don't really get that movement that California has. They don't understand it at all. You have to have been living in California to know it. I love that energy. I love California's energy. So I love going to California. I would live there for years of my life because I love California. I love its diversity. I love its diverse people. I love its intelligence. I
Hmm.
love its technology. I love its beauty. I mean, I love the people that are there. All right. And so you're living in the perfect place for you because you are a media genius, Jim, and you need to be in a place like California for that, quite frankly. All right. It's really good for you. Now, there are other areas that would serve you as well. But you know what? When we're born, we have these lines of energy, right? They come from our ethereal field. And these lines are like magnets, and they pull the right people to us, and they pull the right events to us. They pull the right places to live to us. All right. I mean, when I came to Kauai for the first time in 1998, I had the god Connie come to me and say, "This is your home. You will always be protected here."
Hmm.
And I mean, I was just in a helicopter and going, "Whoa." I was going over Waialeale, an old volcano, and he showed me myself giving my life to this island many, many millennia ago. And so this was not a place I found, but I was told by
Hmm.
God that this was my home. And that's how I ended up here. So
Okay.
we don't always know what draws us to a place, but right now, as you're noticing, people are being pulled to other parts of the world.
They are. I mean, so well, right now here, Mexico is a big hotspot.
Mexico's a hotspot. Um, I want to say Pakistan, not but um,
No, not Pakistan.
uh, Spain, Italy,
Hmm.
and the next country adjoining it with the beaches that I just lost the name of. These people are going to England. They're going to Ireland. All right,
I
they're
wouldn't
going.
go to England. I would stay far away from England. But
Well,
Ireland is a different story.
Ireland, the Irish people are just fun.
Yeah.
And the English people are a little more, I know I had fun in England. I just found them delightful. I found them very, very delightful. They called me a Yank. I never been called a Yank before, but I got called a Yank in England. So I thought, oh, I'm a Yank. Okay. Oh, well, I'm a Yank. All
Okay,
right,
very
whatever.
good.
But yeah, I mean, there's just so many beautiful, beautiful places with beaches.
Hmm.
People are going to the Azores. All right. They're going to
Hmm.
all kinds but you know something? That's as it should be.
Hmm.
We don't need everybody in the United States of America.
No, I think things are changing. Like we started in the first part of this conversation, I think things are changing. People are shifting. I thought the 250th anniversary birthday of America was not celebrated at all very well. I thought it was
Well, it
just kind
wasn't.
of,
It can't be because Donald Trump only celebrates himself.
yeah. Well, I mean, aside from that, I just don't think people care. And it's stemming from our high schools because social media, I mean, they're just rather do other things. Kids are now
Well,
locking themselves in their rooms
well,
and
we
not doing it.
also had our military over in Iran, Darren, and
Yeah,
it was kind of like what a painful thing to have our 250th anniversary while we're warring with a country for all the wrong reasons.
yeah.
All right. And I think that people were hurting inside. They're just like paying a fortune for coffee. They're paying a fortune for gas. Their medical insurance has gotten bonkers. And so it's really been very, very hard for people to celebrate when the faction that's in our government right now is really not for the people, quite
Well,
frankly.
it has been for the people forever. I mean, it's just seems like it's going on. I mean, remember when George Bush was president? I mean, he was a war criminal. He attacked Iraq for no apparent reason and based on a lie. And then Clinton kind of continued, and Obama destroyed Libya. And then of course now this current guy, Mr. Trump, is destroying everything else. So
Well, sometimes you have to just get everything blasted at you for you to stop. We are actually too evolved as human beings on the planet right now to be doing any kind of war, tell you the truth. We military men who kill somebody will suffer the rest of their life with PTSD. A part of them will die with every person they kill. It's
mhm,
a horrible thing. All right. It's a horrible thing because you just don't get that stuff, you just don't get by with. You just don't.
mhm.
And so to kill is not normal or natural. And we are just too evolved to be entering into this. We have mouths. We need to talk. We need to learn to communicate. We need to learn to to stop competing with one another and
Right.
instead work with one another for the planet. And actually, I mean, I was very impressed with after Hitler, Germany has done so many things to merge and to grow. They've grown it was solar power. They have their medicine is wonderful. They have done so many things to make it a better place for all their
Mhm.
people. They've done a great job. All right. And so we now are pulling away from protecting them. So for the very first time, they have to create their own military. We had, said we would protect them. But anyway,
Mhm.
all of this is just showing us, is this what you want on the planet? Is this where you want to be? It's like there's two things that are going to happen here. We either grow into who we are, or we're going to have less and less children born here, less and less humanity.
That's already happening.
Yes, it is. And it's happening because we cannot learn to get along. All
Hmm.
right. And it's important that we get along. It really, really is. And we go through it here. I mean, because on this little island, Actually, it's those of my nationality that cause the most problems here. All right. And I have to be a little, I have to be considerate of that. So I am twice as considerate to all people here to make up for those like me who aren't.
Hmm.
Okay. To think they're better than, which is not true. Okay. So it's just I think it's really important that we say, what kind of world do we want to live in?
Hmm.
Instead of focusing on what could happen, why don't we focus on what we want to happen? Put your energy in how you want to see things resolved, not on whether or not it's going to this or that's going to happen, because
Hmm.
actually you're putting your energy there. When you say you think there's going to be World War III, guess what? You're contributing to World War III. Not
Okay.
to do that. So don't put your, because remember, every thought and feeling is the same as an action. There's no difference,
Hmm.
right? And so it's like, okay, you can look at the indications, but if you see it, why not work towards its opposite? You know, meditate on people learning to communicate what each one can do to compromise to bring peace for the planet and for those involved. You know, everybody who dies in a war is somebody's brother, somebody's husband, somebody's
Yep.
son, and somebody's father. And
Mm.
so it's not good, no matter what, for a loss of life, because it's going to hurt people. Every loss of life hurts families.
Yeah, that
And
is very true. So, all right. Well, with that being said, I want to thank you, Jan, because we got out of 30 minutes here. A lot to ingest. I think, it's really sad. I'll part way with this, that you're right. We need to focus on what we want to see. We want to see peace. We want to
exactly.
see a nation that takes care of its people first and before taking care of or destroying somebody else.
That's right.
It's a waste of energy, but it's getting kind of scary. I have to say, it's getting really scary. So I think that if we all focus and put our minds and meditate on the peace, I think we'll get there eventually. But it might get ugly first, but I think eventually we will do that. So, all right, everybody. So we are again, thank you for the 20,000 subscribers at YouTube, and we'll try to keep adding more and more fun stuff, more stuff coming along the way. This has been Jim Haig along with Jan Vintorini, and aloha, mahalo, whatever you want to say it.
Yes.
So
Aloha.
think peace. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Uh,